Stoicism. Before you give up on her, watch this. Powerful life lessons on love and relationships. Before you give up on her, understand this. A great relationship is not about finding someone who never leaves your side, but about choosing someone worth standing strong for, even when times get tough. Too many men give up too soon. They mistake difficulty for defeat, assuming the battle is lost before it has even begun. She's pulling away, growing distant, not responding like she used to, and you think it's over. But what if this moment, this very challenge, is the test that could make you stronger? Most men react out of fear. They chase, they plead, they try to force things back to how they were. And in doing so, they lose the very thing that made them attractive in the first place: their composure, their self-respect, their power. True strength isn't found in desperation. It's in knowing your worth, maintaining your inner balance, and understanding the deeper psychology behind her behavior. The men who master this don't just salvage relationships, they redefine them. So before you walk away, ask yourself, are you making a decision from fear or from wisdom? Because how you respond now will not just determine the fate of this relationship, it will define the man you become. 1. Why she's pulling away in the first place. Most men feel an instant sense of panic when they notice a woman pulling away. The mind races to the worst-case scenario. She's lost interest, found someone else, or simply doesn't care anymore. But in reality, attraction doesn't vanish overnight. It shifts, evolves, and responds to unspoken dynamics in the relationship. Women are not impulsive creatures when it comes to emotions. They withdraw when something feels off, when the energy that once pulled them in begins to feel too predictable or stagnant. This is where modern Stoicism offers a powerful insight. Emotional composure is the foundation of attraction. When a woman first meets you, there is mystery, excitement, and a challenge that keeps her engaged. Over time, if that energy disappears and things become too predictable, she may instinctively distance herself, not necessarily because she wants to leave, but because she wants to feel something again. Relationships, like fire, need oxygen to burn. The modern Stoic man does not react with fear, but with understanding. He recognizes that attraction is not about possession. It is about the balance of presence and space. Most men, when faced with this shift, react with desperation. They text more, call more, try to force connection, believing that more effort equals more attraction. But attraction does not work like a debt to be repaid. It is not won through excessive pursuit, but through presence, purpose, and confidence. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are consumed by fear and insecurity, you project that into the relationship. Women are deeply intuitive. They can sense when a man is losing his sense of self. And nothing is less attractive than a man who derives his entire worth from someone else's validation. What is Stoicism, if not the ability to remain unmoved by external chaos? A Stoic man knows that his value does not decrease simply because someone is less responsive today than they were yesterday. Instead of reacting emotionally, he stands firm, allowing space for desire to return naturally. This is why a woman will often come back, not when you chase her, but when you show her, through action, not words, that you are not dependent on her attention. She may be testing, consciously or unconsciously, to see if you are the kind of man who remains centered under pressure. Women respect and admire men who exude emotional mastery. The moment you become needy, You shift the power dynamic, and attraction fades. The answer is not to play games or manipulate, but to embody a genuine sense of self-sufficiency. If she pulls away, do not try to control her decision. Control yourself. Occupy your mind with meaningful work, challenge yourself physically and mentally, and cultivate a life that is fulfilling with or without her presence. A man who masters himself will always be attractive, not because he is pretending to be strong, but because he actually is. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The challenge of love is not in never experiencing difficulty, but in how you respond to it. So, before you give up on her, take a step back. Are you acting out of fear, or are you maintaining your frame? Attraction lives in the space between closeness and distance. Let her feel that space. If she values you, she will return. Not because you begged, but because she feels the gravitational pull of a man who is confident in himself. And if she doesn't, then she was never truly yours to begin with. Either way, you remain unshaken. This is Stoicism today, applying ancient wisdom to modern relationships. 2. What to do instead of chasing. She pulled away. You felt the shift, the warmth fading into distance, the certainty dissolving into doubt. Your instincts scream at you to fix it, to chase her down, to prove your worth. But a king never begs a queen to stay. A man who understands the depth of stoic happiness does not let his peace be shaken by someone else's wavering emotions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So why let your mind be consumed by fear, by neediness, by the desperate urge to hold on?" A true Stoic does not chase. He remains still, like an unshaken mountain standing against the storm. Attraction is not built through pleading. It is built through presence, through control, through an unbreakable sense of self. Instead of chasing, match her energy. If she pulls away, you pull back. If she is distant, you stay composed. Let her feel your absence, not your desperation. A woman is drawn to a man whose worth does not require her validation. As Seneca wisely put it, he who is brave is free. And freedom, my friend, lies in detachment. When you detach from the outcome, you regain your power. You reclaim your focus. You step back into your mission, your purpose, your personal evolution. This is the essence of Stoic life lessons, to master yourself rather than be controlled by fleeting emotions. The moment you stop chasing, you shift the dynamic. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you command respect. A man of value does not convince a woman to see his worth. He embodies it. He does not lower himself to beg. He stands tall so that he may be chosen. This is the way of the Stoic. Hold your frame, sharpen your mind, and let your actions speak louder than words. Comment below. Pain is temporary. Power is forever. If you understand this truth, like this post, subscribe, and share it with a man who needs to wake up. 3. The power of controlled distance. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall in love with presence. They fall in love with absence. The less you give away freely, the more she values what she gets. Think about it. When something is always available, you stop noticing it. But when something disappears, you start craving it. That's why pulling back at the right time is the most powerful move you can make. Instead of texting her first, wait. Instead of liking her posts, ignore them. Instead of adjusting your schedule for her, prioritize yourself. Because when you stop being predictable, stop being too easy to reach, and stop reacting instantly, everything changes. She starts noticing your absence, and that's when she starts wondering, why isn't he reacting? Did he lose interest? Is he seeing someone else? The moment you stop giving freely, she starts missing you. 4. The silent test. You didn't even notice. Most men never realize it, but when a woman pulls away, she's not just stepping back. She's testing something deeper. It's a silent test, one you don't even see happening, but one that determines everything. She's watching, consciously or not, to see if you are truly the man you claim to be. Do you stand firm in the face of uncertainty? Or do you collapse the moment she creates distance? Do you hold your own? Or do you grasp desperately, proving that your so-called confidence was just a mask? This is where most men fail. The second she steps back, they chase. She takes longer to reply, and they flood her inbox. She cancels plans, and they rush to reschedule. And in doing so, they unknowingly confirm the very thing she was testing. Who truly holds the power? The men who pass this test, the ones who command deep respect and lasting attraction, respond with something most men lack: stoic wisdom, self-mastery, and unwavering control. They do not panic. They do not beg for explanations. They do not attempt to regain control by overcompensating. Instead, they remain still, composed, powerful, because they understand one unshakable truth: a king never begs a queen to stay. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The modern world feeds men the lie that they must constantly prove their worth in relationships. But a man who truly understands his value never chases. He attracts. When you stop reacting with insecurity, when you embrace stillness instead of panic, you force a shift in the dynamic. She starts to feel something unexpected: regret. A woman does not truly desire a man she can control. She desires a man who cannot be moved, a man whose strength makes her question her own doubts. The moment you become the prize, the moment you show that you do not need to convince anyone of your worth, you turn the entire game in your favor. The greatest power is not in reacting. It's in refusing to react. So before you give up on her, before you overplay your hand and prove her right, hold your ground. Step back and let her feel the weight of your absence, not out of manipulation, but out of principle, out of respect for yourself. Because the strongest man in the room is never the one who needs to prove anything. He already knows his worth. You've already won. Comment below: I control my mind. I control my destiny. If you're ready to embrace the Stoic mindset and reclaim your power, like this video, subscribe, and remember, pain is temporary. Power is forever. 5. If she never comes back, read this. If she never comes back, let this be the lesson that transforms you, not the wound that breaks you. Not every woman is meant to return, and that is not your curse. It is your liberation. This is the wisdom of Stoicism: to understand that loss is not truly loss, but a path to clarity. When she walks away and never looks back, she has done you a service, even if the pain blinds you at first. She has freed you from investing your energy, time, and emotions into something that was not meant to endure. The man who grasps this truth does not waste his life chasing ghosts or questioning what could have been. Instead, he embraces the stoic happiness that comes from detachment and self-mastery, recognizing that a woman who truly values him will not require endless pursuit. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" A strong man does not seek validation in another's return. He knows that his worth remains unchanged, whether she stays or leaves. If your mind is consumed by her absence, you will suffer. But if you shift your focus to self-growth, you will thrive. Modern society has conditioned men to believe that love must be chased, earned, or fought for. Yet the reality is that genuine love does not require proving. A man who embodies the principles of Stoicism does not chase. He attracts. He does not plead. He stands firm. He does not fear loss. He understands that loss often clears the path for something greater. If a woman's affection depends on how persistently you pursue her, what does that say about the foundation of the relationship? True connection is built on mutual respect and appreciation, not on desperation. The moment you adopt the mindset of a man who is content within himself, the right kind of people will gravitate toward you. Desperation repels. Confidence and self-mastery draw in what is meant for you. As Epictetus wisely put it, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. If someone must be convinced to stay, they are not meant to walk with you on your path. A Stoic man understands that a relationship should enhance his life, not be the source of his identity. So, if she never comes back, remember this: her departure is not a loss, but a redirection towards something better. Her leaving does not lessen your value, nor does it define your worth as a man. A Stoic man sees love, like life, as a series of seasons. Some people enter for a moment, others for a lifetime. The only relationship that truly defines you is the one you have with yourself. The man who waits in uncertainty, hoping for someone's return, is bound by fear. But the man who steps forward with confidence, knowing that the right woman will never need to be chased, is bound for greatness. So, stand firm, embrace the lessons life gives you, and move forward. Share your thoughts. Have you ever faced this situation? What did you learn from it? Let's discuss below. 6. The power of silence. Most men fail to grasp one of the most powerful truths in relationships. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. A Stoic man does not beg, does not chase, and does not explain himself needlessly. He does not crumble when a woman begins to pull away, nor does he rush to plead for her affection. Instead, he stands firm, grounded in his own worth, and allows his absence to carry the weight of his message. His silence is not passive, it is deliberate. It is a signal, not of submission, but of self-respect. In contrast, the average man panics. He floods her with messages, desperate to restore what he feels is slipping away. He pleads, he argues, he makes promises, believing that more words will fix what is broken. But in reality, his desperation only pushes her further. A woman expects this response because most men behave this way. She assumes you will chase, that you will eventually break the silence with a text, a call, or a weak attempt to make things right. But when that silence stretches, a day, then a week, then two, something begins to shift. Now she is the one feeling uncertain. Now she is questioning everything. Now she is wondering if she misjudged your value. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Your silence is not a game. It is a declaration. It is a reminder that you are a man of substance, a man who commands respect rather than begs for it. A king does not grovel for a queen to stay. He remains steadfast, knowing that his value is not diminished by someone else's temporary indecision. This is what it means to embody Stoicism today. A Stoic man operates from a place of self-control and inner mastery, not from desperation. Modern society urges men to express their emotions at all costs, to always talk things out, to relentlessly pursue. But the ancient Stoics understood something deeper. Silence is power. It builds mystery. It forces the other person to confront the void you once filled. And in that void, clarity emerges. Either she realizes that she made a mistake and wants to return, or she proves that she never truly valued you to begin with. In both cases, you win. This is the true essence of what is Stoicism: emotional discipline, self-respect, and unwavering inner strength. Men, remember this. Never trade your dignity for temporary validation. Hold your ground, embrace silence, and let your actions, or lack thereof, reveal your true worth. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced the power of silence in your relationships? How did it change the dynamic? 7. How to handle it. When she disappears and suddenly reappears with a simple, "Hey," most men make the mistake of jumping at the opportunity, as if her return is the best thing that has ever happened to them. This is a critical error. Modern Stoicism teaches that a man must master his emotions, not be controlled by them. So when she resurfaces, do not act desperate or overly eager. Stay calm, remain composed, and recognize that if she walked away once, without explanation, she must now earn her place back in your life. The worst thing you can do is make it too easy for her. If you allow her to waltz back in without effort, you are teaching her that your time, presence, and commitment are easily taken for granted. True respect is built on value, and value is reinforced by boundaries. A modern Stoic understands that his life is not a revolving door for those who come and go at will. Instead of instantly replying, take control of the pace. Let her feel the absence, the distance, and the consequences of her past actions. Do not give too much too soon. Let her demonstrate her sincerity through consistent actions, not just fleeting words. Seneca reminds us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Your time is precious. Do not squander it on someone who has not proven she values it. If she is genuinely serious about returning, she will show patience, effort, and commitment. Only then should you consider reopening the door, gradually and on your terms. Remember, a man who values himself does not seek validation from someone who once disregarded him. He remains grounded, focused on his purpose, and never allows the actions of another to dictate his self-worth. Instead of reacting emotionally, he responds with wisdom, balance, and control, hallmarks of modern Stoicism. Before you let her back in, ask yourself, does she add value to your life, or is she simply returning because she misses the comfort you provided? Let her prove she deserves a second chance, and if she does not, walk away with the quiet strength of a man who knows his worth. 8. The ultimate mindset shift. Before you give up on her, understand this. True power in relationships is not about chasing, pleading, or proving yourself. It is about embodying a mindset of self-respect, discipline, and unwavering self-control. Too many men make the mistake of being constantly available, always seeking validation, and in doing so, they diminish their own value. A man who prioritizes his own growth, purpose, and direction becomes naturally attractive, not because he plays games, but because he is genuinely scarce. And as every great Stoic knew, scarcity creates value. As Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. If you learn to want less, to need less, you gain true strength. When you give her space, When you remove your presence from her life, something shifts. At first, she may dismiss it, assuming you'll come back like before. But as the days pass, she begins to feel something unfamiliar: uncertainty. The absence of your attention becomes an undeniable presence in her mind. She rereads old messages, wondering if she missed a sign. She checks her phone expecting to see your name, but it never appears. Doubt creeps in. Did she push you too far? Was she wrong? Suddenly, you are no longer just a memory. You are an unresolved question, a missing piece she did not anticipate losing. This is not manipulation. This is simply the law of human psychology. We crave what we can no longer have. Seneca put it best. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Most men never grasp this simple truth because they are driven by emotion rather than reason. They panic when a woman pulls away, rushing to reassure her, to win her back. But this reaction does not inspire respect. It breeds contempt. A man who cannot control his emotions is a man who can be controlled. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth to her is the moment she starts to question her worth in your eyes. She may reach out with a simple, "Hey, hope you're doing well." But understand, this is not genuine concern. This is a test. She is searching for validation, for proof that she still has a hold on you. When you do not immediately respond, the dynamic shifts. She is no longer the one in control. You are. The tables turn because she is now the one seeking answers, while you remain steady, composed, and indifferent. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is Stoicism today, the ability to detach, to maintain your center, and to never let external forces dictate your inner state. Women exist in a constant battle between emotion and ego. The emotional side misses you, but the ego refuses to admit it. This is why, instead of expressing her true feelings, she may play games, posting about how happy she is, acting indifferent, or even seeking attention from other men. But these are just distractions, desperate attempts to regain control over a situation she no longer commands. And the more she tries to replace you, the more she realizes she cannot. Because she is no longer comparing men. She is comparing the feeling she had when she was with you. And no matter what she does, no one else gives her that same sense of intrigue, of mystery, of depth. She begins to see what she took for granted. But by the time she truly understands, you have already changed. You have grown into a man who no longer waits for validation. You have become the prize. But this is where most men fail. When she finally reaches out, they make the crucial mistake of folding, responding too quickly, being too eager, and handing her the reassurance she craves. The moment she gets it, she disappears again, because it was never about missing you. It was about proving to herself that she could still have you if she wanted. Do not fall into this trap. If she reaches out, let her work for it. Do not rearrange your life for her. Do not make it easy. A woman who values you will prove it, not with words, but with actions. And if she does not, then you have already won, because you have learned the most valuable lesson of all. You never needed her in the first place. This is the ultimate mindset shift. You do not chase, you do not beg, you do not seek closure where none is needed. Instead, you level up. You focus on your mind, your body, and your purpose. You build your empire, your strength, and your wisdom. Let your silence speak for you. The most powerful men are not those who react to every emotional trigger, but those who remain unshaken, grounded, and fully in control of themselves. As Marcus Aurelius said, The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you think like a man who is dependent on external validation, you will always be at the mercy of others. But if you think like a man who is complete within himself, no one, not even the woman you once loved, can break you. The blessing of Stoicism is that it teaches you emotional mastery, the ability to walk away with dignity, strength, and confidence. Do not waste time trying to make someone understand what they lost. Instead, become the man who does not need to explain. A man of value, a man who naturally commands respect because he respects himself. If you embrace these Stoic lessons, you will never see relationships the same way again. You will not seek to possess. You will simply exist as the kind of man who is worth keeping. And when she inevitably comes back, as they often do, remember, the decision is no longer hers, it is yours. As Seneca wisely said, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Know your direction, know your worth, move forward, and let the world chase you. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going.